Hello guys, today we are with the founder of Viper and today we are in VIT and today we are going to take the interview from the founder itself and know about their story and what was their inspiration to start this startup. So let's go into the interview. Yeah. So could you just introduce yourself, like what's your name and in which year do you study?
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm Adarsh. I'm the founder as I was just introduced. I'm Adarsh. I was a student of VIT. I'm an alumni. I actually graduated from 2021. And we run a virtual reality company, rooting from the experience of myself as a game developer.
Okay. Could you just tell, in a short form, what your company does, what value does it provide to the consumer,
So the idea behind the company, as you were saying, is Vellore Tech, and so what we're essentially making is trying to build a company by bringing together the best in India, the tech talent, as well as the resources, trying to make a future that's much more comfortable for everyone, right? So as a starting point for that, right now we're starting with a product that can actually help special children. So we're building a special education metaverse platform aimed at helping these kids prepare for the future.
Okay, so you are just dealing with the students who are students, you will be the main targets, who are not in, they are disabled, in what thing, mentally or physically?
Yeah, so there are certain neurodevelopmental conditions, right? Be it autism, ADHD, slow learner's disability and whatnot.
They are not attentive, you will deal with them making games and so you will just make games, and with that interactive games you can just deal with them and make them learn this fun stuff.
That's the base idea, but a little bit more specifically, what it is essentially having a bunch of symptoms, right? Each of these conditions have different symptoms, be it not being able to pay attention or lacking social skills, daily skills and whatnot, right? So our product helps with each of these skills.
Okay. Are you making an app to deal with that, or are you making a product like a VR or something?
Yeah, so we're actually using a white label VR headset imported and then having our own software built into it with a companion tablet. So it's a product kit that we're providing with also hand tracking band that we're working on, so that the kid doesn't have to hold controllers and move around.
Okay. So how did this company start and when did it start? When did this idea came? You shaped this idea into a company.
Right. So as I previously said, my background is from being a computer science student and rooted in game development, right? And so about 6-7 years ago, we were taken on a school trip where we had to spend an entire day volunteering at a special school. So that experience stayed with me, and it in fact took me back to realizing children with very minor differences had to be isolated from us and under very special care, and that disturbed me and always stayed with me until 2 years ago when I was working with this other startup and just happened to be able to remember that yes, this was a problem, right? And that's when I realized about more than 2-3 million kids are diagnosed to be under the spectrum. And I was have to do something, and I saw that was the magic moment, right? When I put one and one together. Yes, that's where the idea was born.
So, which branch you were in?
So I was in computer science.
Computer science core branch at VIT. And at what semester did you start? In what year? Second?
Oh, so this was in my 4th year. The actual idea conception was in the 4th year, but the roots, the seed was sown. I think while I was in an internship in the 3rd year ending, right, when I was working with this other startup that was also incubated in the idea previously.
So this all started in 2020, I guess. And now in 2022, I guess you are going for a valuation of $1 million. So it's a big achievement for you. And I think so you are the only founder. There's no co-founder, I guess. Yeah. So are you the CEO also?
Yeah. At this point.
Okay. And how many people are there in your team?
So the philosophy in the company is to keep things lean and not very basically the David Goliath situation, like being agile, being able to move around quickly. Well, there are other companies that struggle to do that. So I'll tell you a very short brief about how it works. So about 99% of companies in India, virtual reality companies, work in services because the wave hasn't come yet. Adoption isn't that yet, and so they're trying to survive until it happens. So knowing this, one way in which we can survive this winter is by keeping the team as lean as possible, not having it affect the team. So it's a team of interns that I have been working with until now, with a very few close member team working part-time or full-time. So we're at around 20 plus.
So you are having a team of 20 plus, and are all of them interns or?
Most of them are interns. Some of them are part-time, and we have a couple more freelancers also.
Okay. So are you like in just the development stage of the app and the kit you are telling about, or are you just going to the consumers, like you have developed the product and you are in the final stage, your company is like mature enough to deal with the customers?
So we're in between actually. So because all of us here are from an engineering background, we've completed the prototype stage and we have a prototype with a few modules ready for testing. And because we want to move it legitimately, make it have some substantial evidence to it, we're currently in our clinical validation phase.
So like in how much time are you considering that you will be able to deal with the customers and do the beta testing? Like that's really important for a startup.
Yeah, so we're moving out to a soft launch in a few months in the next year, starting of next year. And with a couple more months after that, we're planning to make it a really good launch.
No, so are you planning to make your business model like B2B or B2C?
So because right now, as I was saying, the way that we're trying to survive in this winter is by catering to the market that's already accepting of the tech, which is more industrial than consumer tech, right? And so we are a B2B company.
Okay, like there are many big institutes like FITG, Akash, so they are also trying to deal with all those kids. Like due to this all corona, all the students went to their phones and now they are addicted to it. So I think so they need to take that problem into hands and they are dealing with it. So you can just help.
Yeah. So we are always looking for some sort of collaboration or evolution of the idea, right? Even this. Initially, it was much smaller, so it's always been growing in terms of ambition.
Yeah. Okay. So how much have you put in? Like, as you are the founder, you must have put some money into this startup because you aren't earning from the consumers and you are not in the market. So from where all this bootstrap is coming?
We've bootstrapped about 2.5 lakhs, or at this point I think it's a little bit more than that also. Yeah, so it's been a lot of freelancing, a lot of asking our parents.
Okay. So it's from your friends and family and your freelancing career also.
Yeah, mostly freelancing at this point. But initial investment for a lot of the hardware was from my parents.
Okay, so freelancing you do in what stuff like? Is there any specific?
Yeah, so I either help working professionals switch careers by using game development. So I teach them game development. Or else, as far as projects are concerned, I'm working on a lot of 3D projects for let's say event management or product advertising.
Okay. Like there are always risks in life. So what's the biggest risk for your company? Like, is there any competitors or like what is the biggest risk that you think?
So the industry in itself, based on popular hype and non-hype, it is going through a roller coaster right now. So every time the ride turns up or turns down, it feels like a very uncertain period of time. right? And so that's what is associated with the industry that we're working in. Other than that, because we know the insights or the insider info, we have clarity on what's going to happen. So we were moving forward.
No, like there are many big giants like Unacademy, Byju's, okay. So they can make your product like in just 1 or 2 months because they are a huge team. So how can you compete with them? So
Yeah,
what's
so-
the thing that differentiates you from them?
First off, the market that we're looking at, even though it's special education, it's more for special educators and psychologists. So we're not catering to, let's say, a STEM audience, which is what Unacademy and Byju's are working on. So the competitors that we have are mostly in the field of neurology or tech that's related to that. Right?
So in the current market, there are no competitors as
Yeah, as active as one would consider them to be a competitor.
Okay. So like what's your current growth like? Are you making progressions like each and every day or it's on a steady pace? And
So we've done a bit of both, right? So there was a phase when we were rushing to finish at least 3-4 modules per month, and we did. Around by August, September, we had 12 to 14 modules ready from scratch. I'm talking about from March to September, we were able to finish some progress, and now we've taken a step back, validating everything that we do, building the company, then the product first, and then so that it can support the product's development also. So it's a bit of both.
so like what's your product's name?
So it's Halera. Halera,
What does it mean like?
in Greek, it means to take it easy, which is what is at the core of the product.
Yeah. And what are you planning to achieve? Like how many people are you targeting? Like how many? What are the stats? Are you
Right. So because as I was saying, there are 2-3 million special children in India, especially in under autism children. That is being diagnosed to be understood. There are so many more children. It's again an understatement. There are like countless number of more children that we know but aren't diagnosed to be understood. So that's the total market that we're trying to reach through these doctors and hospitals. So freeing up their time, making them more efficient, and having their cognitive load lessen would reach us more people, right? So that's the market that we're doing.
So now what's your plan? Like you are just focusing on your company rather than the product, and after that, like what's the plan?
It's a bit of both right now. So
Like there are many small milestones that you have to achieve, and there are many tasks that you have to do.
So right now, because we have so much substance built up over all of this time, be it with the product or the tech team that we've built so far, I feel like the world needs to see what's happening with the tech as well as with ourselves. I'm being a little selfish here, but yeah. So we're trying to reach out to, let's say, people in the industry as well, but also to the people everywhere else to show something that's just actually showing that much promise of helping children, right? So that's the focus for now at this moment. But obviously, as I was saying, on a more serious, tight scheduled side, we're working on a clinical collaboration.
Okay. And like, how is VIT helping you to achieve your goals? Like,
Of course, for the high talent density pool that we have here, right? All thanks to VIT, PA, that we have access to the talent here primarily. So that's the reason we've been able to push fast growth in all these months. And because I was an intern here, I was able to sort of understand what works. But mostly it's all the access that you get to people and the different support that
like all the
Vellore
mentoring
provides.
and-
Yeah, mentoring happens very regularly, and they give all sorts of insights, right? Be it business or be it even for a little bit of marketing, I was able to get some insight from Vellore. And so that's mostly it. What more can you get? Be it network, mentoring, funding, space, and even access to other.
So what's the one word that defines your company?
I want to say revolutionary,
Okay.
but it's a fast-moving young.
Okay, and what's the one sentence that you frame about your company? Like, if you have to introduce to a child of like 10 years of age, and you have
10
to
years.
like tell him your company, what does your company do in just one line, what it would be?
That's an interesting question. So, I mean, for the general audience, right? If it was one sentence, it's basically what happens when a group of crazy, talented, and insanely passionate people get together to build future. But for let's say a 10-year-old kid, um, let's say this is essentially their superhero movies coming to real life slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was nice meeting you.
Yeah,
It was a
likewise.
nice interview, and hope so and meet you in the near future also. So thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll be back with a new video next time as soon as possible.